So we're going to create a MIDI drum loop using one of Live's native drum kits, and I'm going to take a quick look at what we need to do in order to get ourselves set up to accomplish that. So we're going to start by selecting the MIDI track we want to drop the drum kit onto. So I just selected MIDI 1, and the track's highlighted, letting me know that I actually have selected it. And next we're going to head over to the browser and click on Drums. So we can click through and preview some of these drum kits. So I'm going to choose this 808 kit, and I'm going to just grab it, drag it, and then I'm dropping it on the track's title here. So LiveWire's going to automatically retitle this track, whatever the name of the instrument was. So in this case, we've got Kit Core 808. It's record enabled automatically, and then here down in detail view is the device itself. So most preset drum racks come with 16 sounds already loaded in, and they're displayed one to each of these squares here, which you can trigger by pressing the play icon in the middle. And you'll see over here there's a miniature representation of the drum kit, and a little yellow square lights up depending on which pad I trigger. So if you play a note on your computer's keyboard or your MIDI controller, it might light up a square that's above the matrix where the drum kit is currently living, which you can see this is happening to me here. So in order to play the notes inside of the drum kit, we need to transpose the range of our controller down. So your controller probably has a button on it that's an octave up or an octave down transposition key. Or if you're using your computer keyboard, you're going to transpose down by using the Z key and transpose up by using the X key. So I'm going to press Z 2 times here on my computer's keyboard to transpose down. And then now, when I press the letters, I'm hearing the sounds. So now we're going to create a clip, which is where the drum loop is going to live for now. And each of these rectangles below the title is an empty cell, which can contain something referred to as a clip. A clip is a musical space that can contain audio or MIDI or remain empty. And so you'll notice that currently each of these empty cells has a circle record icon on the left. And this is indicating to me that these cells are ready to record and receive MIDI information. So if I unarmed the track down here by pressing this record enable button, you'll notice that now all of the cells have a stop icon in them. And when I rearm the track, they're ready to go again. So if we double click on the middle of an empty cell, it's going to create a 1-bar clip for us. And this is represented as a colored square right here on the track. And then also below in clip view, we're looking at this 1-bar clip. And to go back and forth between looking at the device or the drum kit itself as opposed to the clip, we can double click on the track's title here, and now I'm looking at the drum kit. And if I double click on the clip, now we're looking at what's inside of this particular musical space. We can also delete clips and tracks by clicking on them and pressing delete on our computer's keyboard. So I'm just selecting the track itself, pressing delete, and then it disappears. So I'm going to use the key command for undo, Command Z or Control Z to quickly undo these two actions. So we've got our kit back, and there's the clip. So when we're looking at the clip, you're going to see a grid that represents time passing along the top, dictated by numbers representing measures. It's just similar to the timeline in arrangement view. And the name of each of the sounds in our drum kit is represented vertically on the left. So depending on how much space this window is currently taking up on your screen, you may have to scroll all the way down to see the drum kit here, or the kick drum. So I'm triggering this sound, and you can see different sections of it lighting up as I play. We can adjust the length of a clip by grabbing the 2 end markers here, which is represented by these 2 triangles. Here are the start markers on the left here. So if I hover around here, you'll see there's a number of icons again, and currently I'm looking for the bracket, which is going to grab both of these stop markers. And I'm just dragging to the left or to the right, creating more space. And then I'm going to use the magnifying icon, just like in arrangement view, to zoom out. I'm clicking and dragging up now. I'm going to grab this bracket again, and I'm going to move this over to the end of measure 2 and the beginning of measure 3. And then I'm going to zoom in and scroll over until we're just looking at these 2 bars. So now I want to look at how the measures are divided up mathematically, which is represented along the top here. Whole numbers representing the beginning of a measure or the downbeat. So as we go through the measure here, you'll see 1.2, which is representing 1 for measure 1 and 2 for beat 2. So 1.3 is the first measure, the third beat of that measure. 1.4 is measure 1, beat 4, so on and so forth. And if I use the magnifying glass icon to zoom in further, you can see that this subdivision just keeps going and going, and it can get really complicated really fast. So we're just going to keep this kind of bird's eye view and keep things simple as we move along for now.